So yesterday I made a video on the saga concerning the Philadelphia 76ers organization and Ben Simmons. As of right now, the relationship is rocky at best, okay? And there's not a lack of communication uh, going towards Ben Simmons or the people around Ben Simmons, his agent, and the organization of Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia 76ers are trying to communicate to him, but Ben Simmons is choosing not to. I also said in that video, this didn't happen overnight. This has been happening for the past couple of years. You know, Ben Simmons' name has been in everyone's mouth as far as trading him, choosing Joel Embiid over Ben Simmons. And I also said in that video, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are pretty much similar players. Now, there are a lot of things Joel Embiid can do well and better than Ben Simmons, but they're the same mode of type of player. All right? And I just don't think they can coexist together. All right? Unless Ben Simmons, as far as his shooting, gets better with his perimeter shots, gets better with his three-point percentages, which if you've been following Ben Simmons ever since he was a rookie at the Philadelphia 76ers, none of that is transpiring at a rapid rate. Now, I will say this. I made a video a couple of years ago defending Ben Simmons, saying that he's going to get better. All right? Time will tell. He's going to get better. And I was co-signing the development of Ben Simmons by a lot of things I have seen on and off the court, him practicing and perfecting his craft, yada, yada, yada. But it has not gotten better. So the Philadelphia 76ers had to draw a line in the sand. Both of these players cannot coexist together. So we have to choose which one we want to keep, Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons. Now, Joel Embiid has limitations as well. He's consistently injured. And I feel like that's the major point about Joel Embiid. Now, a couple of years ago, you could talk about him being healthy, him getting better, but he answered all those questions. Ben Simmons has pretty much been consistent. There's no ups or no downs about him. And now the Philadelphia 76ers, they have a new GM, and they're thinking in a new, different way. The trust the process movement is dead, DOA. And now they're in the front office saying, okay, which one of these players we're going to go moving forward, because obviously both of these players can't play together on the same court. Now, the trade rumors about Ben Simmons going here, X, Y, and Z, all of it has not been originated by the Philadelphia 76ers organization. But the past year, there has been talk in the camp of the Philadelphia 76ers as far as exploring that option. Doc Rivers, earlier when he was selected the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, when he first got the gig, he said, look, I'm going to try to make it work with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And after a year of coaching there, now he's not so sure that it could work. So when you don't have confidence with your head coach, you don't have confidence in the front office. It's a division between Ben Simmons versus the world. Ben Simmons versus the 76ers organization and the head coach. And that's where we are today. They're not on speaking terms. And Ben Simmons has quietly, as well, I wouldn't say it came out of Ben Simmons' mouth, but quietly the whispers are starting to, the volume is increasing on the whispers as far as Ben Simmons wanting to leave the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's where we are today. Now, I said in that video, the destinations I could see him go. First of all, let's eliminate any team from the East. The Philadelphia 76ers do not want to see Ben Simmons on a consistent basis. So, for all this talk about him going to Cleveland, the Miami Heat, you might as well forget all that stuff, okay? One, a lot of these teams, they're not going to trade Ben Simmons in the same conference where they reside at. Now, Ben Simmons is, and I said in yesterday's video, Ben Simmons is an LA type of guy. He likes the LA lifestyle, and this is going to be his choice. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers are in no mode or room to say, well, we're just going to trade you wherever. Obviously, they're going to trade him somewhere where he wants to go, and the salary matches, and then thirdly, what they're going to get in return. And I told you guys, he's an LA guy, he's a West Coast guy, he's a California guy, and I told you the list of teams. I don't think the Clippers and the Lakers have enough for Ben Simmons to orchestrate a trade. I think Sacramento has some interesting pieces, plus draft picks that may intrigue the Philadelphia 76ers. But I feel like the most prominent team out of those LA teams is the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have draft picks. They also have players. Two of these players are developmental players. But the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have to be real with themselves. Do they have enough to contend with the Brooklyn Nets, the Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks? You know, all those teams are on the rise in the East. Even with Ben Simmons, they still don't have enough. So, the Philadelphia 76ers organization has to have a kumbaya moment. Like, look here, let's be real about ourselves. Let's be real about it. Do we have enough, even with Ben Simmons, to beat the Brooklyn Nets or the Milwaukee Bucks? The Miami Heat is on the rise. They did some excellent moves in free agency. The Boston Celtics have an intriguing lineup. And they have some acquisitions that are coming into the Boston Celtics that's going to help with the Boston Celtics. But let's look at the Boston Celtics roster. Even with all the moves they have and all the people they already have on their roster, they still are not as good or even better than the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. It'll be a short series. It'll be a short encounter if they have to play a playoff series against either of those teams. And I'm not even talking about the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat did some excellent things. And I feel like they're a team on the rise. But when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, they don't have... They even with Ben Simmons, they still don't have enough. They have a lot of question marks on that roster. Not enough shooting. And you got two guys that virtually play almost the same position. Even if you trade Ben Simmons, you're not going to get anything in value or in return as far as now you're the top dog in the East. So the Philadelphia 76ers have to do a lot of soul searching, and they'll have to be real with themselves. We may not have the team this year, and maybe not next year. But if we do a trade, and this trade is going to benefit us in the future, now we may have something. Because a lot of these teams are going to get older. A lot of these players are going to move around. The Brooklyn Nets are not getting any younger. The Miami Heat is not getting any younger. The Milwaukee Bucks are not getting any younger. But with their roster, they have the ability to contend and win a championship in the near future. And that's where we're at with the Philadelphia 76ers. They may say, okay, we may not have a roster now to contend for a title, and we may be able to contend 2 years from now. But if we are looking and projecting ourselves this way, then we need to orchestrate a trade that we're going to get some young developmental talent, where we're going to get talent that we can cater and mold and be facilitators for us in the next couple of years. And no one in the West have that type of talent other than the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Utah? What about the Nuggets? What about the Rockets? There's a lot of teams in the West that you can get some decent talent, or the Timberwolves. If you look at those rosters, they don't have a player that if you instantly plug that player in the Philadelphia 76ers roster, they're leaps and bounds better, or they can contend with a Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, or the Miami Heat. They're a little bit better, but they still need to add if they want to contend now. 2 years from now, that's a different story. A lot of these teams' rosters are going to get older. A lot of these players are going to be moving around. Okay? And maybe not this year. You may contend next year, but 2 years from now, if you have your own home ground talent, you might be the next big dog 2 years from now. And the Brooklyn and the Golden State Warriors have those pieces. Like I said yesterday, the Golden State Warriors can orchestrate a trade. They can get Ben Simmons. In return, they get their first round pick of 2 years ago. They get the Philadelphia 76ers also get the first 2 picks in the first round of this year. A player here, a player there, and a couple of draft picks. And you do that trade. Now, there's a huge discussion. People have already done skipped all the formalities, and they're saying that, well, it's settled. He's going to go to the Golden State Warriors. So how Ben Simmons is going to fit with Draymond Green? Draymond Green is an explosive, emotional individual who speaks his mind. He has no filter. If you suck, you suck. He does not ride no one's coattails, and he considered himself an equal just like you. He considered himself a superstar. And if you don't believe me, then I feel like he was the main reason why Kevin Durant wanted to go to Brooklyn. Kevin Durant couldn't tolerate it no more working alongside Draymond Green, because Draymond Green was given the capabilities of speaking his mind and saying his piece, just saying anything. He didn't have to bow to no man. The Golden State Warriors organization was treating Draymond Green on the same level as a Clay, a Steph Curry, and a Kevin Durant. If the Golden State Warriors said, look, there's levels to this, Kevin Durant is, he's the guy. It's Kevin, Steph, and Clay, and everyone else is playing a role. And Kevin Durant could have done one or two things. He could have accepted it and co-signed it and moved on, or he could have just exercised his option as being a free agent, going elsewhere. Those are the only two. But I felt like the Golden State Warriors should have let the world, as well as Kevin Durant, Draymond Green know that This is Kevin Durant's show. And I feel like he was a major contributing factor to why he didn't re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, he wasn't too fond with the medical staff. Even though it was culture and with him and the organization, they wasn't really tight like that. But I felt like he had a good understanding and a good relationship with the front office of the Golden State Warriors. But I feel like the main reason why he went to Brooklyn, because Brooklyn allowed Kevin Durant to they allowed Kevin Durant to be the center of their universe. Wherever Kevin Durant wants, they're going to do it for Kevin Durant. No ifs, ands, or buts. If Kevin Durant doesn't like the coach, they'll find another coach. If Kevin Durant doesn't like the front office, they'll get rid of the front office. If Kevin Durant doesn't like to play with this player, with that player, they'll move that player. A lot of the moves Brooklyn has done in the past couple of years, trading away the talent that they had already had on that roster, was large part of Kevin Durant. Don't get it twisted and confused that they was listening to Kyrie Irving. Now, the only thing what makes Kyrie Irving's words more solid is the simple fact that Kevin Durant was co-signing it. And the reason why Kevin Durant was co-signing it, Kevin Durant was thinking the exact same thing. He just didn't want to be the bad guy and to inform the players that he was playing with that you guys just don't cut it. You guys are not it. Okay, this is a new era of basketball where the superstars dictate on who they want to play for, who's going to coach them, yada, yada, yada. And this is what everyone was this the woke the movement, and everybody was saying, look, stars make franchises. This is what you guys wanted. Be careful what you wish for. This is what you guys wanted. You got it. Now you're starting to see a lot of fans not happy with the results, because there could be a fan that was interested in a player and also interested in that superstar, and they had to trade that player. And they traded that player not on large part to make the team better, but more times than not, they traded that player because the superstar just didn't want to play with that player. We're too top heavy. Remember where that came from. But back to Ben Simmons. If push come to shove, if Draymond Green is smart, Draymond Green is going to say, I don't like the situation that I am in right now, but it is what it is. I'm just going to push. I'm just going to try to make this work. If it means that I have to hold my tongue, I will do it. If it means I have to put a filter on my mouth, I will do it to make this work. If they get Ben Simmons, the Golden State Warriors, with Ben Simmons, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, a little bit of and Draymond Green, as well as whatever they got on the roster, they're the fourth best team in the West. Let me repeat that. They're the fourth best team in the NBA West. It will be automatically my lineup, the best three teams before you get to the Golden State Warriors. It will be the LA Lakers. It'll be the Mavericks. It will be Utah. It will be the Golden State Warriors. And then it will be the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets has fell back just a little bit. Just a little bit. And up underneath the Nuggets, the Clippers. For this year. This year. And the reason why the Clippers has fallen, has dipped largely, is the simple fact of, the claw. We don't know when he's coming back. Kawhi, we have no clue when he's going to come back. And the way how he, how he takes care of himself, if he's not 110%, he's not going to step on a basketball court. Meaning, we probably won't see him until next year. Even if they make the playoffs, he may be 80% sure if he's going to help them. The Clippers are going to do this all on their lonesome, on what they have, on the coaching staff and things of that nature. But going back to Ben Simmons, the Clippers are taking a couple of notches down. The Clippers and the Golden State Warriors are your fourth best team. They have all. I feel like they could be the next. And oh my God, I forgot the freaking Phoenix Suns. Let me do this again. You got to give it to Phoenix because they were in the finals. The Lakers, the Phoenix Suns, the Lakers, the Mavs, the Golden State Warriors, and then the others fall in. The reason why I forgot about the Phoenix Suns is I just had a memory lapse. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, they will be the fourth best, maybe fifth best team in the West, and they could win and they can go deep into the playoffs because they have everything what you need. They have a big man. They have a Ben Simmons who can facilitate, and he has weapons on each side that he can facilitate too. Plus, they got a coaching staff, and they got an organization that's willing to do whatever it takes to win ball games. So, that's all I got for today, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.